Well, hello everybody. It's Marty from PodJam TV, along with.
Misty. Hi,
How
Marty.
you doing, Misty?
I'm doing quite well. Hi, everyone.
Hey everyone. We are back, and in this episode, we are going to talk about how to be a good Twitter friend.
Yes.
And the reason why we chose this topic is we get a lot of questions from people that may not be getting the engagement they want to get, or maybe having trouble attracting followers or building a community, and they're wondering,
Mm-hmm.
what do I do? How do I go about
Yeah.
this? How do I improve in that area? And we have some tips that we were thinking about this for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and we have some tips on really how to be a good Twitter friend and kind of be better part of the community and kind of
Mm-hmm.
attract. And we got some tips here. And the first one is share awesome content. And what we mean by that is, and we realize on Twitter that many people have a lot of different interests and they like to share interesting content and links and things like that. But sometimes, and we notice this, that people just kind of like tweet out whatever. They
Yeah.
might be following some RSS feeds and they just kind of just tweet out like random links. It seems like. And one of the things that we recommend, and one of the things I do, on both my personal Twitter feed and also on the Podjam feed, is I really curate your tweets. And what I mean by that is, when you're sharing links and great content, you want to look at each one and ask yourself, is this something that's really going to be useful to my community and the people that follow me? And
Yep.
that's something I really try to do and really take to heart. And I'm looking for information, not necessarily that's always going to be interesting to me, but interesting to the people that follow me and also helpful to the
Yep.
people that follow me.
Yeah. And I think it's also important to also show your real self on Twitter. Like as you said, you should share awesome content. Content doesn't mean it just has to be links. It can be something of like if you want to inspire somebody
Hmm.
for that day, it can be like a quotation, a picture, or even your own. Share your own life. If you feel good today, it's
Hmm.
it's okay to share it. I mean, that's I think what makes Twitter fun. It's just not all links and all information, but there's also conversation. Spark a conversation with the people you follow and the people following you.
That's a real good point about inspiration. It's a real opportunity
Yes.
to inspire people, especially as you gain a following, as you build a community. That to me, I think I really look at that as an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me feel real good when you make that connection.
Yes.
And I think that's a real good suggestion as far as not just links and
Mm-hmm.
information, but maybe a good feeling or a quotation or you
Mm-hmm.
know
Because you don't know, somebody might be having a bad day today,
right,
and the only thing that they see and when they woke up is your tweet.
or a
Like if
cheerful picture. Or like what you
yeah,
said, like
yeah.
something you're sharing of your life, that you might be
Uh-huh.
doing that might bring someone else some joy. So that's
Yep.
I think that's really important. So
Mm-hmm.
so share awesome content. That's number one. I think you have number two for us.
Yeah, and I think the another way for you to connect and for the people to engage with you, and even like on our offline life, it's always good to be helpful.
Hmm.
As we said in the first one, why are you sharing awesome content? Because you want to be helpful, and we know there's a tool there on Twitter that a lot of people misuse.
It's built right in.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. And that's your DM function. A lot of people just use it to sell their products or like, hey, welcome to my, thank you for following me, and that's
Mm.
it. And you never hear from them
Even
again.
before you get to know them,
Yeah.
it's it's kind of a
or
turnoff.
or yeah, or they invite you to their mafia family. It's like, come on
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
the DM was built there for some specific use. One would be, I think it's important to use DMs when you have like this personal conversation with some people on the stream, and that you want to take it privately. You can do that on your DM. I know the both of us get a lot of questions, right? like, how do you help us with my blog? How do I do this? Or how does this Twitter thing work? It's either, if they don't have a blog, you can go to, you have your DM. They would usually go to us there, and then we'd answer them via the
Yeah.
DM. I mean, why not use it that way?
And I think one of the big things about DM is I think it's easier to follow the conversation in DM since it's threaded and you're talking to one person. Highly, instead of using public replies, conversations are a little bit easier in DM. I think that's great. And then if you have a conclusion or if you have something that you want to communicate to a broader audience, obviously public tweets are great, and even public
Yeah.
replies, especially if you put the dot in front of the at sign or so that everyone can see it. But we highly recommend the use of direct messages, and sometimes I think it gets a bad rap because of all these auto DMs that come in from people you don't even know and you just follow it. So it does have a useful purpose. One of the other things is tools that you could use that are connected with Twitter now to enhance that connection. Now, most of you already know about Skype. You can do video and audio chats and FaceTime on the Apple side.
Yes, we do get that. I mean, some of our Twitter friends would like to hear our voice, right? And they would like to ask us and have an in-depth answer to their question.
Right.
And we always get that.
And going beyond 140.
Yeah,
140
going
characters.
beyond
Text is very
140 characters.
limiting as far as communication. And that's one of the reasons why we started Podjam TV is we saw it as an opportunity to kind of communicate our interests, our passions, help people. That's why we do video. Because I mean, this kind of thing is a lot more real than just relying on text, because you can see my inflection, you can see my passion, you can see my expression.
Plus, it's also like another thing is like what you said earlier, doing it over Skype, because sometimes the conversation goes beyond 140.
Right.
The question that they might ask might require answers that are in depth.
Right.
But of course, there's still people who were skittish in still doing Skype.
Right, and they're maybe skittish about sharing their information or whatever. So we came across an app. We want to give you guys a tip on one app that we found recently, which is called Onse. It's available. I know it's on iOS. It's available in the App Store for iPhone, and it's an app that allows you to basically make phone calls through Twitter.
Yeah.
So what's cool about that is if you want to make that connection with somebody that you're following, you can have that phone conversation, but not give them your phone number or your Skype ID. They already know your Twitter ID.
Yes.
And this is great. And we tested this out. And basically, the way you set it up, you download it from the App Store, you set it up, you sign in, and then you invite people to join you. You follow each other. You have full control. You can block if things go wrong or whatever. So you have full control over who you talk to. But we're going to do a quick demonstration here. So I'm going to launch the app now on my iPhone. I'm going to call Misty. And all I have is her Twitter handle. And we set this up in advance where we're following each other. So they're on the app itself. You load it up and you hit you touch her name and you come up with there's a button there that says call. So I'm gonna hit that call button, and basically it's gonna ring her phone, and there it is. There's my phone call coming through. It just has my Twitter name. You're gonna answer it.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Misty. How you doing?
I'm doing well. This is really good.
Okay, you might hear a slight echo, but the voice quality is tremendous. I'm very, very surprised, and we're using it on Wi-Fi, but we are actually having a phone conversation live.
And it's very, very clear.
Very clear.
It's like your normal line.
Right, and it sounds very much like Skype. But all the information, all we know are our Twitter handles. So it's a great little tool, completely free from the App Store. So I figured, Onse, highly recommend it. It works very, very well. If any of you guys decide to download it and try it, we'd love to hear your experiences. And let us know what you think. So that's Onse.
Mhm.
And we have the third tip we want to talk about is respect.
Mhm.
Respect for the people that you follow and your community.
Mhm. For me, I think it's important that you know, just like offline, you know, you expect, you earn the respect of others by respecting them as well. I think this is important to talk about because sometimes people misinterpret a lot of things on Twitter.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, this person is now a snob because, you know, he's not replying to any of my tweets.
Hmm.
You know, we also have to respect other people's time. Not everyone can be on there 24/7, but you know there will be people who will, you know, check their stream the following day, or when they get on Twitter, and then, you know, don't get mad easily.
Hmm.
Don't you know, feel, oh, he's a snob or she's
Right.
a snob. Yep.
Yeah, people aren't always connected
Nah,
24/7. I mean, I'm pretty
we
close to
are.
that. We are pretty close. Although there are times when I get offline, not always online, but I'll always respond. And some, you know, it's a challenge to make sure that you're making sure that you're replying to everybody.
Mhm.
But yeah, be careful about assuming, you know,
Mhm.
that people are ignoring you. Reach out. One of the dangers of relying on 140 characters in text is very limiting, as I mentioned before earlier. There's no inflection. There's no way to see that person say those words. You don't really. It's hard to tell kind of the meaning behind it. And if you're ever unsure, be careful about assuming meaning. Make sure that you engage in dialogue and make sure, you know, did I understand this? Do you mean this? You know, reach out a little bit. I see so many times where people will tweet back and forth, and there'll be a misinterpretation,
Mhm.
and there'll be a big fight, and over what? Nothing really, you know, because
Yeah,
it's
it just
misinterpretation, right?
because if you are assuming something, right?
Right. You
Mhm.
know, and I think that's why I think if you can, you know, using tools like Onsay or Skype or
A
getting
DM.
beyond or DM, you know,
Mhm.
for more intimate conversation, getting beyond the 140 and making those true connections. It's the same online as in real life. In real life, you're not just typing on your phone and giving people like, here you go, read this. You know, that's not how it happens, right?
Hello.
You're having a conversation.
Uh huh.
So, you know, technology is great, you know, if you reach beyond that. And I realized, you know, some people are timid, and we certainly started out that way too. Once you break through that, it's fantastic.
Yeah, because we're both introverts, right?
Right, naturally.
And I think this is also important. Always remember that since you only see avatars on Twitter, remember that that is a human being too.
Yeah,
He's a real person,
yeah,
you know. So he deserves or she deserves the respect. And if you want respect, you have to also give respect.
exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hopefully that's helpful to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
New Twitter people and old Twitter people. I mean,
Yes.
you know, it's the same thing. But hopefully those tips have been helpful to
Mm-hmm.
everybody out there. I think that's it. Anything else,
Mm-hmm.
Misty?
No. Maybe, you know, our readers might have like their own experience that they
Hmm.
want to share with us, or something that we've missed here. We'd really love to hear from them. You know, we want to hear from you guys. Maybe you can share it by sending a comment.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's a great question. How are you a good Twitter friend? You know,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think that means? We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yep.
Uh, I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this has been another edition of Pod Jam TV. We will see you next time.